spectacular. Hello, morning, and welcome to our channel. We are in Belgrave today. It's like about an hour from Melbourne. So we came to Belgrave, and this is a fantastic day, and it is going to be a very exciting experience because we are going on Puffing Billy. That's actually a very iconic steam train, steam rail that we're going to experience today. Look at Puffing Billy. Look at this in my background. This is Puffing Billy, and how many times you get to travel on this type of vehicle? I mean, it's just historic, isn't it? So this is Emerald Lake. It was a very short walk from the cafe, and before we start our return journey, we came to this Emerald Lake, and there is a wooden bridge which is pretty spectacular. Beautiful sight. A lot of construction works going on at the moment at this Belgrave station. Look at these old-time engraved hoardings and decorations. They look pretty stunning, and it says that the next train is going to Lakeside, where we will be traveling today on Puffing Billy. And you see, this is Puffing Billy. It's standing there and pretty much vigorously puffing. White flag means we are ready to go. Oh, what a view! I just met one guy, one of those ornamented, dressed ticket checkers of Puffing Billy, and he was saying that there is a technical problem with Puffing Billy this morning because it's very cold here up the mountain, and so there might be some delays. So I hope it runs and we get to experience that extraordinary train, and let's see what happens. A little bit of history. Do you know why it's called Puffing Billy? Puffing Billy is the name of the engine, that is the locomotive that is going to drag this extraordinary historic train. This Puffing Billy engine was one of the 3 engines built by an engineer called William Hadley, and he was supported by Jonathan Foster and Timothy Hackworth. So 3 of these extraordinary people developed this Puffing Billy engine in 1813 in Newcastle upon Tyne in England, because they wanted to have a faster way of transporting. In a colliery they used to work near Newcastle upon Tyne, and that's why they wanted to develop a faster engine to replace all the tramways dragged by horses. And that's where it started, this extraordinary journey almost 200 years ago. And the original Puffing Billy engine is preserved in Science Museum in London. The Puffing Billy that we're going on was developed around 1880, and around 1900 this extraordinary journey started in Australia and Victoria. And Puffing Billy is the premium steam rail services that lasted the test of time. The steam rails are extraordinary, isn't it? You guys must have seen our recent video at New South Wales Rail Museum, where we traveled to Buxton on that extraordinary steam rail. And this Puffing Billy here that's the premium steam rail service in Australia, still preserved and running even after 124 years. And look at this team, it's just getting ready for this heritage ride. Hope it runs today. So at this Belgrave station, there are a lot of history written, and obviously, as I mentioned, Belgrave in 1900, this station was in booming. And this is the train. This is the old picture of the train, Puffing Billy. Originally, it started to take cargo and some passengers, because this was a lifeline for people who used to leave up Gembrook and other stations. Eventually, it became much more advanced, and the train was used by the passengers and the tourists. It became very popular. The Lakeside is the station where we will be ending our tour today. So it is going to be quite historic and very extraordinary, I think. Finally, we can see Puffing Billy is coming towards us. So all the technical issues are resolved, and it's going to run today. And look at this side. I mean, it's just historic, isn't it? Over 100 years ago, this was a normal thing. That was the most innovative, running a steam rail up these mountains up to Gembrook. But now more of a touristy thing, but it is an extraordinary job that they're doing, preserving these old, very, very old technology. We can see that there is a crane and there is a different vehicle that's pouring coal onto Puffing Billy before it starts its journey.
Each person can have their own ticket.
We've got scones and cream. That'll be nice. That one?
And we can have that at the Lakeside Café.
Yes. If you pick that up when you're at the visitor centre,
Okay.
they'll have a sign there showing where to pick it up. Yep. And you're on Carriage J, which when the train is there, they'll be right up the front
Ah,
on
okay.
the engine. But when you're coming back, you'll be down the back.
At least 50% we are front. You see, the Puffing Billy is now going a little bit uphill to get all the carriages, because the carriages are parked here, on top of here. And so the Puffing Billy is now running and is going to get connected to all those carriages where we will be traveling. Listen to the sound, and this side is just extraordinary, isn't it? And that gentleman is guiding Puffing Billy to be positioned correctly so that it can be connected. Now Puffing Billy is connected to the whole carriages, and look at his team. This exhaust is a bit blackish, so it is mixed with barn coal, smoke of the barn coal as well. In the background we have Puffing Billy and it's ready to run. So this is going to be a fantastic journey. Puffing Billy is now moving, so it's coming to the station with all the carriages and it's going to start the journey. So Puffing Billy is coming towards the platform before we can jump on board. So all the carriages are marked with different letters. Well, so we're on J, so it will be just behind the steam engine. So Puffing Billy is ready and we're going to go on board. So next stop will be Menzies Creek. We're not going to get down, but as soon as it starts, there will be a bridge that will be on the right hand side. Hopefully we'll be crossing that bridge and I'll be able to get a fantastic shot of that. And look at these people here sitting on this windowsill, and this is a tradition that people normally do, and they put their feet outside the train, children, adults, and they enjoy the view. And today it's a gorgeous day. It's blue sky. There is absolutely not a single piece of cloud, and we are just behind the Puffing Billy engine. White flag means we're ready to go. Puffing Billy is starting its journey to Menzies Creek, and then from there we'll go to Lakeside. Oh, what a view! We can see the whole train, and a lot of people are sitting on the sill. I'm just sitting on the windowsill, you see. What a sound, and look at these controlling pulleys. This is the bridge. Are you getting coal dust?
Yeah.
Purnima is getting coal dust on her hand.
See, coal dust.
Yeah, I've got some coal dust here as well.
That
My legs are hanging, and that's an extraordinary experience. So I'm getting braver by the day. Look at all those people, they're just hanging and enjoying. What a spectacular sight. Look at those smoke and the length of the train. And this is a fantastic part of Victoria. All these mountains and rainforest, and this train is running for over last 125 years. What a heritage site, what a heritage ride we're having. I cannot pay enough tribute to William Hadley, who invented this Puffing Billy. That Puffing Billy is just running us crazy, and so nostalgic. It's just brilliant sight we're having. We're in Carriages, and that's just behind the Puffing Billy, and we're having a wonderful time. I'm hanging, Purnima standing, and we are getting an extraordinary experience. I'm getting a lot of coal dust on my thighs. Look at this coal dust. there's a branch just broken and came inside. This is Puffin Village, turning, and we're having such a wonderful time. So we just arrived at Menzies Creek, and I'm actually still hanging, and I'm not going to leave this location. This city is the best because I can get to see the whole train when it's turning, and we're not getting down at Menzies Creek. We'll continue our journey to Lakeside. This is the first stop, and what a ride we're having. That's why Puffin Billy is so popular.
Order please, train for Lakeside now departing.
So now we are starting from Menzies Creek and on our way to Lakeside. Here it says the speed limit is 5 miles per hour to cross. Oh, you see, there is a level crossing. It's getting closed because Puffin Billy is going to cross the road. And look at this beautiful scenery. I think that's the lake, and so we are going to the lakeside. From Menzies Creek towards the lakeside, it's going pretty fast actually. It has increased its speed. Bit of story I was reading, and I was scripting for what I'm going to say on the video. And when in 1900, when Puffin Billy first started on this route, that was a human innovation at the very highest level, because that was a big lifeline for people living on Gembrook. In 1906, they had the first major accident because it got derailed, maybe for landslide or whatever, but most people were injured. But I hope we are having a very, very fantastic and safe ride today. Oh, that was the longest horn. Really good sound. I think there is a level crossing coming, so it is definitely not a busy route, but there are roads that people drive on, and so Puffin Billy needs to alert that I'm coming. And you see that gate is getting close. These steam rails, the rhythm is just so fantastic, isn't it? Chicka 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 chicka. This sound is just very, very nostalgic. Listen to the sound, and what a fantastic ride we're having. These starting points are the best because you can get to see the whole length of the train. What a view this is. I can see the whole train, the whole length. Guru and I were taking each other's photo, and we're not stopping. Probably this is once in a lifetime opportunity. We don't get to go on Puffin Billy on a daily basis, but this is really, really authentic experience that we are having. Imagine 100 years ago, this train was a massive lifeline for people living uphill in these stations. So they used to wait for long hours before Puffing Billy could arrive and bring all those essential goods up the mountain. And that was such a different experience. And if there is a landslide, no Puffing Billy, and it could have been a very difficult living up here. Look at the shadow of Puffing Billy. Such a small engine built so many years ago, still fully functional and such a beautiful thing. Look at the beauty of this area as well. Such a wonderful view. It's almost looking like England. Such a green, pretty part of it. This is a fantastic cross-section. History of more than 120 years, and modern vehicles are waiting for this gigantic heritage passing by the Puffing Billy. It's an hour journey each way from Belgrave to Lakeside, so it is going to be a very long, fantastic experience if you're on Puffing Billy and traveling from Belgrave to Lakeside. You see, there are control barns going on. They're doing control barns, and we are passing by those areas. You see, I'm sitting on this windowsill for last 45 minutes, 1 hour. And I was never going to do that in million years until Orodima pushes me, like the helicopter ride recently. I was never going to do that in million years, but Orodima always keep pushing me, and so I get to do these extraordinary videos. Finally, we're arriving at Lakeside. There's a lot of maintenance going on, and look at this, manufactured at the Newport workshop in 1912. So that is very historic, and look at all the coals and the engine. This is fantastic looking apparatus, the engine. This is Puffing Billy, and I think it's very much heated up, so that's why it's getting some cooler water. Look at Puffing Billy. Look at this in my background. This is Puffing Billy, and how many times you get to travel on this type of vehicle? I mean, it's just historic, isn't it? 112 years ago it was manufactured. And your name?
Graham.
Graham, and I'm getting a moment with Graham with Puffing Billy. What a sight this is. Wow! I think the Puffing Billy is getting ready for the return journey from Lakeside to Belgrave, and a lot of preparations is going on at the moment. So now we are at Lakeside, and we are going to the tea room because we have bought one jam and scone with tea, and that's something we'll get from the cafe, Lakeside Café. And after that scone and jam, we'll be heading off to Belgrave, our return journey on Puffing Billy. And this is Puffing Billy Lakeside Visitor Centre. So this is the Puffing Billy Lakeside Railway Cafe, and we'll get our scone and tea here. So at this Lakeside we pre-ordered some scone and a coffee, and we just got that, and with some cream and jam, and so we'll just have that before we go to the Lakeside. So we'll be visiting Emerald Lake, and that's the direction on that way, so probably we should go that way. We're going to the Emerald Lake for a quick view, and the scone and the coffee was delicious. It's just a short walk from the cafe to this lake, and you can see the lake. That's the Emerald Lake. Beautiful sight. And there is a really pretty wooden bridge on this lake. We have just enough time to go over this bridge and take some photos, I guess. So this is Emerald Lake. It was a very short walk from the cafe, and before we start our return journey, we came to this Emerald Lake, and there is a wooden bridge which is pretty spectacular. Beautiful sight, really pretty. And this wooden bridge is pretty picturesque. It's a very nice spot for taking some photos before going back to Belgrave. And we have been so lucky with weather in Melbourne and Victoria in general. It's been high pressure all along, and the whole week was just magnificent. And today is pretty special because it's just blue sky, and we got the opportunity to travel over this mountainous range and this extraordinary Puffing Billy. What an experience that we had today. So Puffing Billy is almost ready for the return journey to Belgrave from Lakeside. In 1955, Puffing Billy Preservation Society took over the operation and restoration of this extraordinary train, historic train. And since then, they have been the pivotal society that's maintaining and running this operation here. And for their dedication and contribution, that's why we can experience this extraordinary historic heritage rail, this steam rail today. What an experience we're having. Saying much at this time because it's the return journey. Please enjoy this extraordinary ride, and I'm just recording with the natural sound. What a wonderful sight this is. I'm just keep changing directions and from this window to other window because it's continuously turning. We are arriving at Menzies Creek. due to a massive landslide and also running cost and huge losses, Puffing Billy was originally closed in 1953. But then from 1954 onwards, they started restoring the whole service again step by step. And so this is Menzies Creek, and it says that after Puffing Billy reopened in 1962, that was mostly a contribution from the Puffing Billy Preservation Society. They opened this line again for public usage and the tourism. Menzies Creek Station was the terminus for 3 years until preservation reopened the line to Emerald. So that was when they started expanding the line step by step to its original glory. Look at Puffing Billy, what a spectacular sight this is. It's a majestic journey, truly, truly majestic. Oh, what a spectacular sight. What a wonderful journey this was, and we're arriving at Belgrave, and I hope you enjoy this extraordinary ride with us. The sound is so beautiful, isn't it? What a wonderful journey that was on Puffing Billy. I hope you enjoyed this extraordinary ride on Puffing Billy with us. We couldn't realize how fast the good time passes. Thank you very much for watching our travel videos. Goodbye until the next video.
To the city streets, we began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. Night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light.
Oh, what a spectacular
Just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. As we shout from the top, we're gonna